Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining the Microsoft 365 Community Conference Workshop Preview Series. Now, that's a mouthful. And I'd like to thank our strategic partner who is helping us produce these for the next 3 weeks, Betechly. We are now in the second week of a 3-week process of previews and sneak peeks into the workshops and content that's going to be presented at the main event, the Microsoft 365 Community Conference in Orlando this April. We present every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, if you're joining us live on one of our streaming platforms, I've got Terry will send up a QR code there. Great, thank you. And use that QR code, and that will take you to a website that will give you the full schedule at times, locations, speakers, and topics over the next couple of weeks. So go there, and then you can register as well. Important reminder that we really hope to see you at the live event in Orlando. And to help make it a little bit easier, we have a discount code we'd like to offer you. It's N300, N300. And it's been live for a couple of weeks now, but today is the expiration date of that discount code. So if you really want to take advantage of a $300 off of that of your registration, use it by the end of today. Again, it's N300. Okay, now without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our presenters, Mike Madarani and Gökhan Azifsi.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you, Lyman, for the nice introduction. And today we're going to give you a recap, a short overview of our workshop that is happening on Sunday, April 19. It's all about AI, SharePoint AI, Teams AI, automating content and accelerating the collaboration in your organization. It's going to be a hands-on one, so we're going to be very interactive. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to see us what we're going to do. You're going to try to apply things on your own as well. So let's get started.
Hello, I'm pretty excited to be here joining you guys for that amazing workshop we've been preparing with Mike. My name is Gökhan Azifsi, and I'm joining you guys from Brussels, Belgium. I'm a Microsoft Regional Director and MVP for SharePoint AI, and my LinkedIn is just on screen. So that's the lonely place where you can come and join the discussion, and we can learn about each other. And if you have any questions about the workshop, I'll be glad to respond to you from there.
Absolutely. And my name is Mike Madarani. I am from Ottawa, Canada. I am a CTO at Taiga AI, and that's all we do is AI. And I am also a Microsoft MVP, been an MVP for 11 years. Currently, I've changed from the SharePoint MVP all the way to M365 and now Microsoft Copilot MVP. Also, my LinkedIn is on the screen. It is my full name, Mike Madarani. And really looking forward to collaborate together on April 19.
The agenda, and I guess that's the most important topic for today, because we have been preparing so much amazing topics, exercises, knowledges for you all, and you can see that on the screen right now. So we'll start with SharePoint AI and Teams AI, the fundamental introduction, and we'll get straight to the business value, recommendations, real-world scenarios, as well as industry best practices. We're going to show you how you can use it, what you could do, and most of all, and the most important of all, is we will show you what we've been learning from the field, because we're going to deep dive in the late AM to document processing techniques. We'll see how they differentiate from other field to other AI models, such as the freeform, structured AI builder, and so on and so forth. But not only the ones that we can use, but we can also build our own agents, such as the multi-AI model with Sonnet 4.5 in SharePoint. And we'll also see the knowledge agent and compare it to the SharePoint AI agents and Copilot agents. So it's going to be all AI infused, agent infused for the early stages of the workshop. Then it's going to be for a lunch break, and then we'll deep dive feature per feature into SharePoint AI, OCR, translation services, taxonomy tagging, image tagging, e-signature, annotations, SharePoint Advanced Management, M365 Archive backup, and then finally finishing it with Teams Premium, Teams AI, and Teams Agent. And as you can see, this is only in 8 hours. We've been preparing this, a bunch of exercises, slides, and knowledge from Mike and myself to you all.
It is going to be quite exciting. So let's do an overview of all of this.
Yes. And let me take the lead and start here, Mike, and then I will hand it over to you about what we're going to discuss. And the main topic that we're going to discuss about SharePoint AI. And here is the evolution of SharePoint AI. We started the journey in November 2019 when Microsoft announced Project Cortex, which was machine learning back in time about document processing in SharePoint. But with the evolution, we went to SharePoint syntax and then to Microsoft syntax because it was a huge tool. And Microsoft kept adding features, not only for document processing, but a bunch of other machine learning technologies, features, experiences to syntax. But then came the Copilot era, or the AI era, where Microsoft went from syntax to SharePoint Premium. And then for some reason, because they would literally push Copilot, well, they had to debrand the SharePoint Premium experience to the document processing. But hey, we are now today in the agentic world, and we have the knowledge agent. And don't get scared of this. It's all an evolution of the AI spectrum. What we could do in Project Cortex, well, 90% can still be done under the SharePoint Premium or document processing era. And we'll explain you what are the features that you could use, what are the features that you should focus, and what is the future LLM-based approach that you should take care of.
Absolutely. With this evolution, I just want to add that nothing has been deprecated. Things have been added and enhanced, and more features had been enabled. So the same thing, since we started with Project Cortex all the way to knowledge agents, a lot of things have stayed the same and got better and more features added.
We'll also discuss the business value. Remember what I said is we're going to see how Microsoft is thinking about SharePoint AI. They talk about consumption, LLMs, agents, pay-as-you-go, orchestration, and so on and so forward. But then the customer's view is all about SharePoint, syntax, SharePoint Advanced Management, Content AI, Premium, and all that confusion around. And our job with Mike is to make sure that you get to know the perfect wording per feature and that there is no more confusion at the end of the workshop.
Awesome.
The 3 pillars, that's what with Mike we've been building around, and we've been working with SharePoint AI since, I'm not going to say day 1, but maybe day 2. And this is how actually we saw, to be precise, SharePoint AI a couple of years ago. We had the 3 main pillars where you had the solutions, then in the middle you had the AI part, and then the advanced administration. And each pillar had their own experience. Like when you go to the solutions, well, you could see that you had the SharePoint e-signature, the agreements app, the annotations, as well as the AI-driven rules. On the AI part in the middle, well, the OCR, image tagging, taxonomy tagging, autofill, and so on and so forward. And many of them required pay-as-you-go. Pay-as-you-go meaning that you have to pay on a consumption basis. But then came in the Copilot era, and Microsoft said, you know what? People are afraid of the AI era. Why? Because they're afraid because they didn't take care of their environment hygiene. People maybe didn't do recommendations and best practice for the permissions. And, you know, with my Copilot agent, I can simply ask a question. And if I have access to a document, even if I don't see that document, well, that LLM prompt can go get that data and return the result. And that's the reason why, and one of the main reasons why, they said, you know what, we're going to give SharePoint Advanced Management for DAG reports, site access reviews, restrict access, and so on and so forth with the Copilot license. And that was a big step. Why? Because on the next slide, you'll see that after the pay-as-you-go era, we just came to the Copilot era, where Microsoft is slowly going away from the pay-as-you-go to more a Copilot-based approach. That means that if you have a Copilot license, well, you get all that advanced administration from the SharePoint side, not the backup and archive, because you still have to pay for them. But you get all that knowledge agent and all the capabilities of what we had with the SharePoint AI pay-as-you-go within the knowledge agent. Autofill is a huge part of the knowledge agent, and Mike is going to show that in a demo in a couple of minutes. But you could do OCR, image tagging, taxonomy tagging, content processing, translation, summarization, improving the site, skills and agents, all of that with only one Copilot license. But people are still required to use SharePoint AI even without the Copilot license, and that's the reason we still have the SharePoint AI part, which still has autofill. So you could use autofill with SharePoint AI pay-as-you-go, as well as with the Copilot license. And finally, the multi-AI orchestration is the brand new pillar, which actually gives a new insight on how you're going to orchestrate all that knowledge, because Jeff Deeper now always make reference to SharePoint becoming the knowledge of your M365, the knowledge platform. Well, you need to have that agents to actually orchestrate that platform. And Microsoft announced on January 7th that there will be now Claude models, Opet, Sonnet, and 4.5 within your agents. And I've been playing around, and Mike as well, and there is a huge potential in using other GPT models, such as the Claude models within the M365 era. But don't be confused. We will explain this, show this, all that in our workshop. We will build those LLMs. We will make sure that you can connect to SharePoint and use Claude models within your SharePoint as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have a lot of examples. We will show the differences between each features, each model, and how it works, and how you can have it yourself as well.
Yeah. The pricing, as we know, AI or premium means, well, you have to pay additional add-on prices. And those are the prices if you are not going to use the Copilot license. Again, if you have to use Copilot license for XYZ reasons, well, SharePoint AI can still be used, and you can see that every action, and we're going to discuss it in the workshop, has a specific pricing, from content processing to content assembly to translation to image tagging to taxonomy tagging. The only thing which is required is a pay-as-you-go subscription, which basically means a resource group in Azure linked to a credit card. And many of them, if you have a Copilot license, would be included in the Copilot offering. Microsoft once said, don't say it's for free, because it's not. It's included in the Copilot offering. And then I think I have like 2 more slides, and then I will hand it over to Mike. Why is SharePoint AI important? SharePoint AI is the fundamental strategic focal point of M365. That's where the knowledge resides. That's where all the data resides in M365. And when you add AI on top of SharePoint and do some document processing, match data with SharePoint and all the data you've been extracting, well, you can go on the left side of that scheme and go business processes, and you can use that data to customize your forms. You can import that data through connectors to build your applications and flows. You can build SharePoint framework solutions. You can ingest that data into Dataverse with data flows. You can even build with Power Virtual Tables applications that run straight on data in SharePoint. You can go on the bottom side on compliance, the data that you've been extracting. Well, you can apply some DLP or labeling on top of that data. You can manage your environment better because you get insight on data with SharePoint AI through SharePoint Advanced Management or the brand new admin experience, the Agent 365. Using SharePoint AI will also make your data findable. Today, no one is really taking action on how good and accurate the search is. But if you enable OCR or document processing techniques on data in SharePoint, well, you can build search-driven pages. You can enable PnP search and make even the find experience way better through the semantic indexing for M365. And then the last side is then the knowledge orchestration. We could use that knowledge in SharePoint to build our Copilot agents. We could use AI agents built or multi-AI model layer and have that intelligence coming from outside and make our data and SharePoint better. So it has a strategic and business value. You just need to know how and when to use and what feature you need to enable on SharePoint. A phenomenal slide from Drew Madelon, which is also a speaker in the conference, is, well, SharePoint AI has a bunch of features from document processing to autofill columns to image tagging. Every feature has its own advantage and disadvantage. Many require a lot of learning. Many, well, no learning because it's very easy to use. As you can see, the last ones, annotations, PDF merge and extract, content query, well, the complexity is none. But if we go for document processing, and we're gonna actually have maybe an hour or two in our workshop about document processing, it's the one which has the most complexity to do with SharePoint AI. But we'll discuss this, all the features, one by one in our workshop. Mike has been telling this early in the preview. Well, said nothing is deprecated. That's true. It's only legacy technology. And it's not a decision of the SharePoint team. It's basically SharePoint using the Azure AI Document Intelligence, which is a feature in Azure, which is deprecated, which makes that we have to also move to newer technologies. And who says new technology knows it's all about LLM, large language models. So today, the time of adding refiners and extractors and building models are done. We just have to write our prompts, and that prompt is going to bring us the result from our SharePoint to the document libraries. And Mike has a phenomenal session around, did back in time, phenomenal sessions about prompting, because prompting is fundamentally important for SharePoint AI and any other AI language you want to use with SharePoint. AI Builder, AI Prompts, a document processing agent within Copilot Studio, they all require some powerful prompts in order to run correctly. Right, Mike?
Absolutely. Love that session. I always give it, and people always love that prompting session.
I know. And that's, I think, the last slide I have for today. And now I'm going to hand it over to Mike. The thing is autofill enough? And that's a homework for you all within that preview workshop today. Autofill is actually an experience, an AI experience only for SharePoint. The data resides in SharePoint. You create your column in SharePoint. You prompt it, and the result is written back in SharePoint. But how can we attract people from other ecosystems if we only stay in SharePoint? Why can't autofill, as an example, have a trigger? Like, why can't I just tell to my autofill, hey, if there is a file in OneDrive, or if there is a file into another team, or in a chat, or, you know what, I have a file into Power Apps or Power Automate, or even a Copilot Studio trigger, run that autofill, extract me the data. And whenever you have that data, make it intelligent, make it automated, make it repeatable, make it actionable. And that result, well, after mashing it up, write it back to SharePoint or write it back to Dataverse. That's what I've been asking to Microsoft for the last 6 months. Make a V2 autofill, because it's not enough to only talk to SharePoint people. You need to talk to other ecosystems people in order to make your tool grow. Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? It's your homework. Let me know, and we'll see that in the workshop with Mike, and would love to hear your feedback from that as well. Oh, I had one more slide. My apologies. Yeah, the evolution of the knowledge orchestrating. You know, Microsoft came with SharePoint. Now we have all the Copilot Studio agents, and now Microsoft announced the multi-AI providers for LLMs. Where are we now? Well, we are straight at the knowledge orchestration era. We are in the middle, in between of SharePoint AI and the document processing agents. Well, we are slowly moving away from all that SharePoint-only AI ecosystem to a broader ecosystem. And that's where Microsoft is playing it very well. We have always multiple tools to use AI against our files. It's not too late. You still have time, but you need good coaching. And that coaching is with our workshop. If you want to learn about the document processing agent, about the knowledge agent, about SharePoint AI, and how you could use the multi-AI providers for LLMs, in M365, the workshop that you have to be is this one. Mike, you're muted.
I am muted. I was coughing, so I muted myself. So, and with that, we are going to after step into the evolution of Microsoft Teams. As we all know, we've been using Teams for many, many years as the collaboration and communication platform and foundation for everything that you want to do within the M365 ecosystem from a collaborative tool perspective, and how that had gone from the Teams into Teams Premium. We're going to talk about all of the Teams Premium features, from the advanced meetings, how you can protect your meetings, how you can personalize it, and everything else around the Teams Premium, and how that evolved into Copilot in Teams. What does that mean, Copilot in Teams? What's the difference between Copilot in Teams and Teams Premium? We're going to go through all of those information and features comparison with demos in terms of how you can achieve different results using different levels, if you want to call them, in Teams with the AI world, from an AI power productivity and how does it work, the intelligent recap, the automations, or anything agents that are out of the box in Copilot Teams, or something that you can develop yourself as agents that we're going to go through today, showing you the agents and how we can expose those agents in Teams, those Copilot agents in Teams. So a quick preview here. For example, we're going to focus on a few things in Teams. We're not going to go into every single details of all the features in Teams Premium, but basically specifically on how it matters the most, into the advanced meeting protection and personalizations. We're not going to do a lot into the virtual appointments or the webinars, but we're going to talk a lot on the intelligent sides of the Teams Premium perspective and how you can have some specific results post Teams meetings and during Teams meeting as well, and how we can integrate that into the Copilot world. What does a recap mean? How you can work it? How does it work in general? All the cool features. We will have some live demos for Teams intelligent recap. We will have a pre-recorded demos as well, because it's always good to see how things work if you have something recorded versus something live. So it's going to be pretty interactive when it comes to showing all the Teams Premium features in the Teams AI. We're going to do some live translation, for example. Maybe Gökhan will speak to us in French or in Turkish, and then we'll see how that would work, or we can translate to different languages. It is pretty cool, specifically if you are in an international organizations that you have multi-languages, people with multi-languages in it. So it is so cool. Of course, we'll do into a little bit more personalization in it, see how you can personalize and theme your team based on your organizational theme, from starting the meeting or pre-meeting or during the meeting as well. We're going to also go into the Copilot recap, and then from an intelligent perspective, and how we can do way more advanced recapping with Copilot. And then we have a teaser for you. So what we're going to do is Gökhan talk to you about the autofill and this is the new generation of this content management and content extractions. So we gave you like a teaser of how things can be done from a classification, extraction, and enrichment of your content inside your SharePoint using Copilot. So you don't have to learn it today. It's going to be hands-on. It's going to be live demos. We're not going to prep the tenant at all. We're going to work with you. You're going to give us examples, and we're going to go forward and see how this one really saves you a lot of time when you use all those features from the SharePoint world all the way to the Teams world. And with that, Gökhan, you want to take this?
Yes. So for all attendees who are listening to us live here, we have a little gift for you all. This is our book that we have been written with all the speakers from the Microsoft 365 Community Conference. All the people you see above are speakers or previous speakers. They've been all supporting the Microsoft 365 Community Conference, and we have a free book for all of you. If you come to our workshop, you can use our codes, and I think we have a slide here for, but now you get a digital copy, and if you come to our workshop, you will get a printed out version of that book, just because you came to our workshop. So you can take all the knowledge for free go and like learn it at home and re-watch and redo and have something print out in paper. But here is a QR code. Go download and use that book as much as possible.
And this ebook has already been updated with all the names changes that happened in the past year or so. So it is up to date for your information. And with that, we thank you for watching this video, this webinar. Our contact information on the screen. If you have any question in preparations to the actual workshop, we'll be very happy to communicate that with you. We will also be communicating through the conference about any preparations that you need to have for the workshop. And if you haven't registered, please go ahead and use our code MAD150 and GOKEN150 to register and save some money for the conference. And thank you again. And then looking forward to seeing you on April 19th.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for taking some time to help people get a bit of an insight and a preview into what you'll be presenting in Orlando. They'll get quite a bit of a deeper dive into this incredible area of information. I just wanted to thank everybody for attending today, and this presentation has been recorded and will be posted on the conference site on Mike and Goken's workshop page if you wanted to watch something again. Just a quick reminder that we have a special discount right now for $300 off that expires today. That discount code is N300, N300. So it needs to be used by the end of day today. Once again, thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, we've got a full day. At 11 a.m., we have Martina Grom and Tony Pohl presenting a preview of their governance workshop. At 1 p.m. Mountain Time, we have Andy Honeycutt and John Moore, and they give a sneak peek into their collaborating with Microsoft 365 Copilot. And then we end the day tomorrow at 3 p.m. Mountain Time with Galen Keene, Ryan Scooten, and Ben Stegging. They give their preview into their workshop, Are You Actually Ready for Microsoft 365 Copilot? Have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you in Orlando.